Hello, Wendy here with Jazzydoodledesigns, and today I'm here to share my March Madness. Now, granted, some of these books were bought in February that weren't in my last haul, but I went a little crazy and I got quite a few books, a couple of art supplies, several that I'll share at the end, so stay tuned. Now, this first one is Romantic Country, A Second Tale. Now, I know that this isn't a new book to most, probably. It's been around, but did you know it was actually all of the designs were inked with toothpicks? In the book, it says that it took her 1,200 toothpicks to create all of the images in this book. And I am in awe. I can't imagine having the patience to dip toothpicks into ink and to sketch out my designs and be good enough that I, don't have to start over every 2 minutes. But anyway, I really like this. I wish that her third book, or his book, I'm not really sure, would come out. I found it one time on Etsy for like $80 or $90, and I just couldn't. I wanted to badly, but I couldn't. But anyway, I'm not going to flip through because, like I said, this one's been around for a while. Now, this next one, I haven't seen much of anything about this book. It's kind of reminds me, it's Fairy Tales by Emily Lidahall Oberg. I know you guys come here just for the amusement of listening to me pronounce things, but I've never really seen this one about much. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Hannah Carlson or Marie Tolley, though I don't have one of her books yet. The images that I've seen, it kind of reminds me of that, with a little bit of the eerie vibe and a little bit of, what is her name? Milli Maratas, because some of these images are kind of segmented out. So anyway, this is a fun little book, and the paper is beautiful. It's a real heavy cardstock. It's kind of a cream color, and though the pages are two-sided, while I wouldn't use alcohol markers, I think just about anything else would probably go in this book. So the next one, this is another one that I am sure has been around, and maybe I just haven't seen it, but it reminds me of Inky and the Butterfly, that it tells a tale. There's actually pages with part of the storyline. But I love this book. I love the concept of this book, and some of these pages are just really fun. Now, some of these, like this one, doesn't really appeal to my particular style, but others I just think are darling, and I am excited to do them. This one where she's going on the slide, I think it's just a fun little book, and I think it would be fun to color it and then give it to one of your grandkids. But this is by Darius Song, and it's called The Night Voyage, a magical adventure and coloring book. Here's another one that I haven't seen a whole lot of. I'm not even going to attempt the French. I don't want you to spit your coffee out through your nose because it would be that comical. But this is just a lot of woodland creatures and florals, toadstools, birds, pine cones, kind of nature. Once again, really nice cardstock. Not quite as thick as the last book, but definitely heavy duty. I would equate this very much to Joanna Basford's early books. It's in a really nice white, and I look forward to working in this. And it's Paula Baroon, and I just got these all on the Amazon. Alien Worlds. Now this is one I did a flip through on the channel, and I talked about my thoughts and my fears of coloring in this, but look for a color along in the future for sure. Now, for those of you that hate the Alien Worlds, these next couple of books might be a little more in your liking. I love me some cutesy designs, and Penny Blue by Christine Karen is just so stinking cute. And I really can't wait to tackle these. These are all in grayscale, but so fun. Just, how can you not like that little face? He's adorable. So anyway, I'll probably be doing some work in that. This is another one that's been around for quite a while, the Matchstick Mouse, and I'm sure you're all familiar. But I thought these are very typical Amazon paper. It's one-sided, and I thought this would be a really good book for me to be able to feel good about myself for completing an image in a day, but also to try out some of the new supplies that I got. And so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to color each of these pages with a different brand of color pencil, ink tints, alcohol marker, neo colors, distress ink, the works. That way I can do this is done in this one's done in that, and you can see the difference in the pencils. I think that would be a fun experiment, and I don't feel like the images are too big for me to tackle a project like that. So I will be doing some exploration with that. These two, Milli Maratas, Secrets of the Sea and Island Escape, I was really intrigued by these. I have never seen coloring books that were segmented like this, where I don't know it. Somehow it feels different, because I've seen images like with this leaf where there was lines to indicate where the vein of the leaf is. This feels almost like segments, almost like it was Zentangled or something. And so I wanted to have a play and see if it was any different to color than any other book. Plus I thought her images are just delightful. These sea ones are fun. You know, plenty of, if you wanted to do something big on a big scale, but then she has some more simpler ones, where you could just do one of these a day or something like that. So I thought these were kind of cool. Let me know what you think. Have you ever colored in these books? And if so, do you color each line or each little segment a different color, or do you do a blend on each one the same, just like you would if the lines weren't there? Let me know what you think about this. I will probably try both. So, a couple of things I'm excited about here. So as far as colored pencils, I bought the Starjoy Gold Edition. Now, if you're not familiar with these, they come in a real nice tin. It's a hinge tin. And I'm going to slide back to where you can see the lid. The lid has each of the colors listed with a swatch, which I thought was kind of cool. If you're not familiar with these particular pencils, what they do is each pencil has the name, the color, and then the name of the color here. I like that it's in black as opposed, let me zoom in a little. See if that helps you. I like that the name of the pencil's in black and the lettering's in black, and it's in a big font, so it's easy to read. They are a very lightweight pencil. They feel like they're the size of about a Prismacolor in terms of in your hand feel, but the barrel of the pencil is bigger. It reminds me of a Prismacolor or a Polychromos in terms of the size. Now, that's just me eyeballing it. It's definitely fatter or a bigger barrel than a Prismacolor, but I really feel like in terms of how it fits in your hand, how big around the actual entire pencil is, feels much more like a Prismacolor. They are very smooth, and I feel like they go down much like a Polychromos. They're a very smooth pencil. Now, the thing that makes these a little different is Lori with Color My World, I believe her channel is. I'll try and link to the video where she talks about these. But in her video, she explains, going back up here to the chart, each color family has a light, medium, and dark color so that you can just grab those 3 pencils and color whatever you want. And then they have a further breakdown. Once they do that, then they have a breakdown of, I don't know, a dozen or so jewel colors, a dozen or so muted pastels, or maybe 20 of those, and then some skin tones, some color correctors, like let's say you got a little too pink in the cheeks, you could use the green to kind of tamp that down. And then they do have French grays. There's 4 French grays and 3 warm grays. And then there's a blue gray, a green gray, and there's actually something called, is it violet gray? Now, so that's how they group them. And when they come together, this is how they look. Now, if any of you have been watching my channel, you'll know that I organize my pencils by color family order. I swatch them all out. This is the chart that I made for the Starjoy Gold. And this is available on my Ko-fi shop, and it is free. It says pay whatever you want. If you don't want to pay anything, you can put 0 in there. If you want to throw a little, you know, $1 or $2 in there to support the channel, it's always appreciated, but not necessary. I want everyone to have availability to the charts if they so desire. So let's kind of look. It's missing cool grays. One other thing I want to point out is that there is no white pencil, which I understand. It's easy to get a white pencil. There are better quality white pencils to have. I personally love Prismacolor. I also have a luminance white, and I think I have a drawing white, which are very opaque white pencils. And then of course I have all the whites that go in the other sets, but I almost always use at least Prismacolor, even when I'm coloring with something like Polychromos, just because I like it better. So I understand not wanting to waste, quote unquote, one of the slots for a white, but I use my cool grays a fair amount, so that seems like a little bit of an omission to me. Overall, I think these are great, and I look forward to playing around with them. Hey, before I grab the colored pencils and show you the rest of my haul, if you guys could do the YouTube-y things like subscribe. If you find this video enjoyable or valuable, it really lets YouTube know and they show it to more people. So thanks so much. I appreciate it. Now on to the good stuff. So the last thing that I got is I bought, well, not the last thing, is I bought these Neo Color ones. Now, I have all of the Neo Color 2s, and for those of you that are interested, there is a swatch chart for the Neo Color 2s, and there are two versions. There's one that have the 84 that are available now, and then there's one that I created for myself because I bought my Neo Colors so long ago that there's like 14 extra colors that have been disconnected or discontinued that I own. So I thought others might be in that same situation. So I went ahead and made that available, but I just recently put in the 84 only because if you're just now purchasing them, that would be annoying to me to have 14 slots that I may or may not be able to find on eBay or somewhere. But anyway, I digress. The Neo Color ones. So I am going to be, if you're following my Wind Down Wednesday series, where I go over the different art mediums and whatnot, 2 weeks from now, I am going to be going over the Neo Color 1 and the Neo Color 2 and the differences between the two, and showing you some actual hands-on examples using them in some books and on paper, just showing you. Now, the Neo Colored ones, they are not water soluble. The Neo Color 2s are. And I always kind of felt like, well, isn't this just an expensive crayon? So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to see if I feel like these are worth the money. I love my Neo Color 2s. And I will have a swatch chart for these, but I don't have it available as of the date of this recording. I should have it by the time the Wind Down Wednesday goes over these. So the last thing I want to talk about that I bought was I bought this Jelly Roll set at Hobby Lobby. It had a 0.3 millimeter, a 0.4 millimeter, and a 0.5 millimeter pen in it, which I thought was kind of nice. And it was $2.99, and they were on sale. So it was like $2 or less. And then I bought this, but I didn't buy it. I bought this on Amazon. It's Winsor & Newton ink. And this is, I think most people use this for calligraphy, but I wanted to give it a try to white out the black lines in our, hold on just one second. My dog needs in her bed. Come on. Good girl. She has a little perch by me, and it's up high to where she's maybe at my waist level, but because of how it sits, it's a little unstable if she were to jump on it, and so she uses my knees as a stair to get to her bed, because she is a princess, you know. But anyway, back to business. This ink is designed for calligraphy, but I thought, well, if it's opaque on black and they're using it for, you know, that, maybe it would be a good option for covering our color book lines. So I am going to be doing some experimenting with that. And I will probably put it on with a paintbrush, which feels a little fiddly to me. I like the idea of being able to use a pen, but to be honest with you, I have a love-hate relationship with this one of these Signo Uniballs and Jelly Rolls. I have a bunch of them, and I find that when I try and use them over colored pencil, that the wax really kind of clogs them up, and then I spend the majority of my time just trying to make them right again. Some of them you know, end up in the bin because I'm not successful, and they still have so much ink in them, and that feels very annoying to me. So that's it. My husband's happy that that's all that is. But anyway, till next time, thanks for joining me. Don't forget to hit the like button. It really, really helps me more than you guys have any idea. So thanks so much.